Welcome to the Spare Parts Racing Podcast, your podcast for all things motorsports. With your hosts, Sean Chavarella, Stephen Clary, and Taylor Moore.
Hear that music?
Hello and welcome to Spare Parts. I'm your host, Sean.
I'm Steven.
And I'm Taylor.
And honestly, starting that, I was really hoping to catch Taylor in the on.
So
I
much
just had a funny feeling that you were waiting just for that.
I saw the on and okay, that's a good time to start. And you recovered well. I'll give you that one.
Thank you.
No problem. So this week we have, 3 races to talk about. We got an IndyCar race, NASCAR race, F1 race. A bunch of news has happened. Big event this weekend with the 24 hours. So, yeah. Where do you guys want to begin? Let's not everyone jump there all at once now.
Okay, I'll be real honest. I did not pay attention to IndyCar and NASCAR at all this weekend. I watched the F1 Grand Prix, so I have thoughts. I also, I think I've been living under a rock for the past week because I had no idea what news you were talking about until, we sat down to record.
I mean, that's fair. I get it.
So I'm going to be learning a lot this podcast and contributing when I can.
Just you get live reactions to the news, and that's kind of more fun.
Yep.
Yes, I'll be giving my live reactions to whatever tomfoolery is going on in the motorsport world.
And yeah, in that case, I guess let's talk F1 first, because me and Steven didn't catch all of the IndyCar because we were golfing at the time.
Sean tried to block a golf ball with his ankle.
Let's not talk about that part.
You what?
Nothing. Our buddy may have been trying to chip out for some trees, and he fired it right at us. And I didn't want it to go, in the other trees on the other side of the fairway. So I stuck my foot out to help him to stop it. It hit me right in the bone. Right to the bony part of your ankle that sticks out. Yeah, that hurt.
That hurts too
It's
when you
fine.
hit that spot. That hurts.
Exactly.
Is it large?
No, it's fine.
Oh, really? There was no swelling?
It was a week
No
ago.
bruise?
Relatively, it's all fine. Anyway, moving on from me,
Okay.
we're talking F1.
Yes. F1. Okay, so it was the Spanish GP.
Me and Steven have mixed thoughts on this race.
Yes. Okay, the thing is that going into Barcelona, I'm never excited because it to me it's one of the more boring races on the calendar, if not the most boring race since they took France out.
Okay,
But that's
bold
to
strategy.
me the track.
Yep, and I agree. In the past, the track has not had good results. It's been kind of boring. That last chicane's kind of killed it. But we got a new year, new track, back to the old layout, and
No chicane.
I'm on the team that was a good Spanish Grand Prix.
Okay.
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 If you're gonna phrase it like that, you're putting the bar on the ground. So
I'm not saying it's a great event. I'm not saying it's the most boring thing ever. Not every race can be a fucking banger if they're all a banger.
No. Then none of them are. But
yeah.
Well,
it was okay.
I mean, yeah.
I'm not gonna.
We can
hail
also say the same thing.
Okay, let's back this race weekend up, because the whole event was actually pretty good, especially compared to other Spanish Grand Prix. For example, in the past, no, shut up. In the past, Spanish Grand Prix, how does qualifying usually go?
Typically, with
in the
the
past,
chicane, it's the whole
2 by 2 by 2.
Yep.
And that is how it has been forever. This year, qualifying, you had the top 6 were 6 different teams.
That is entertaining.
That is entertaining.
Yep.
Yeah, you knew Max was going to get pole, but everything else was great. You had Lando in a top 3.
Oh yeah, that was weird.
That,
I guess good
McLaren
for
pulled
Lando,
that.
but weird.
yeah, like don't talk about their Sunday, but like McLaren looked
Oh,
good on
oh.
Saturday. Leclerc was out in Q1. Sorry, Taylor.
That
Okay, that was not his fault.
let's be honest, Ferrari fucking up in some form, that's not surprising either. You can't add that as a
Yeah,
interesting
that's
point.
the free space in the bingo card.
Yeah. The only thing that makes it slightly more entertaining is that they just got it over with right away.
Oh no,
on Saturday.
they fucked it up in the race too, though.
No, but you know what
Yeah,
I mean,
they
like
did.
they got it over, like they got people's hopes down right away. Like, oh, then we aren't even making it out of Q1. We're back with the Williams and a Haas and an Alpha.
But yeah, so
Well,
you had-
Carlos was on the front row. Yes? No?
was he?
Wait.
He was.
Okay, yeah, he was.
Yeah,
okay.
he was second, right?
Yep.
It's like, wow, is my memory that bad?
I'm just trying to think where he finished. Oof. Yeah, he was second. Wow.
He finished in like 6th or something.
We'll get to that. Yeah, so yeah, you had a jumbled grid, basically, all on pure merit because of just how the track was. That was fun and exciting. And then you get to the race, and yeah, you didn't have much competition in like for the win, but there was fights up and down the entire board. You had Hamilton, Russell, and Perez basically fighting each other. You had Alonso, who, had to fight his right way through quite a few guys. You had the Alpines, Sainz falling back the entire race. The McLaren starting in the top 10 disappeared. Where were they? 13th and 17th. So,
Well,
a lot of stuff was happening. You had also a fantastic fight between De Vries, Hulkenberg, and Albon. It was not for anything, but those three you could throw a blanket on, and they were just fucking out there giving her. Like, it was a good race. Not for the win, but overall, I think drivers really enjoyed that track.
Honestly, I can totally see that. I honestly, I think it was kind of indifferent to this race, if I'm being honest. Like, it's not like I hated it, but I didn't necessarily love it either. But I feel like sometimes it can be really hard to separate or kind of like focus on everything that's happening in the race other than like Max just won another race. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like sometimes people focus so much on like it's just another race that Red Bull was dominant in, all that. But a lot happened. Like, I mean, let's talk about Mercedes. The fact that they were up there this weekend, you could tell that they brought upgrades.
And that's why Drive to Survive was invented, because there was no competition at the front, and you wanted to give people more context for the rest of the grid. That's why people shouldn't freak out when there's not a fight for the lead, because this is normal in F1. The abnormal year was
like
Max versus Hamilton.
Yes, that was the abnormal year. And it was a good year.
It was. It was a very good year.
Great.
But not everything has to be a banger.
Well, yeah. I mean, this part of the calendar isn't necessarily going to produce those races either. Like, it's just the tracks that they're at. Like, it's not like they're all, like, superstar tracks. Like, even Monaco. Like, Monaco was exciting because it rained.
Yep. Like,
right? But traditionally, we look at it as, like, a more boring race that we don't necessarily enjoy, but it's the entire weekend that you have to take into consideration, too.
Exactly.
So
Steven, you said
honestly,
this was boring. This wasn't even the most boring race in the calendar this year.
No.
I would say Miami was worse.
Yeah.
Oh, Miami was so bad.
Easily.
They just botched it all with that one. But I also have a feeling Vegas is probably going to be maybe even worse.
So I made the easiest bet of my life in the Spanish Grand Prix, and that was, I think it was like over 18 and a half drivers classified. Easiest bet to make.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say it was Max Grand Slam. Like that was an easy one.
No, I didn't take that one.
I took that one.
That's fair.
We had two, and that's where it's sort of like the fact that we could all see this coming from a mile away, and there wasn't even like a chance of a challenge from Sergio is like, that's
Well, because you knew that.
I get what you're. I get.
The second they fell back and like they weren't going to be up front challenging. Like Leclerc wasn't there. You didn't have Perez there. You had Check's notes. What was it? Sainz, Hamilton, and Stroll were your top 4. Yeah, you're
that I actually did get a little excited about seeing Stroll get up there for a little bit.
Stroll's first lap was great.
Me too.
He made a great move around Hamilton.
And then he just sort of putted around the rest of the race.
And I think I was reading that the Astons did not do well on this track because of the high downforce front end is needed for this track.
And they don't have that.
No. The Astons are very good at acceleration tracks with heavy braking, quick out of the corners. So look at tracks like Canada, they'll be strong at. They'll be strong at Monza, probably strong at Hungary. Like tracks like that aren't so high downforce, maybe people more heavy braking and traction out of corners. Yeah, that's where the Astons will be good.
And honestly, if you can give up one race but take the advantage over multiple races later on in the season, why not?
They still scored more points than Ferrari this race.
They scored two set or both cars in the points. The only thing is the fact that both Mercedes scored like the second most amount of points possible.
Yes, but is Mercedes? Are they going to be there the whole season, or was this a one-off?
That's the thing.
Yeah,
they'll probably a bit of a one-off. I won't completely write off. Oh, they designed this car exactly for Spain. Yes, because that's what Mercedes with their 2 British drivers are doing. That's the track that they are set up for.
Mercedes, I don't think even had that much pace advantage in this race. They just got the strategy right. They one-stopped it, didn't they?
Yeah.
I
think they did.
Because they took that, they started on, I want to say the softs, or the mediums, and they started on the softs, and they took the softs long. And that allowed them to not, versus I think Sainz, Stroll, and Alonso all did a double. They went soft to soft, then to medium.
Yep, and Stroll did the same, because I think they had the graphic up of him being on the hard, thinking, oh yeah, everyone's just going to go on the hard after.
They messed up the graphic at one point. They had to take off all the tires because they had it all wrong.
Yeah, it was
like if you put in that 20 seconds of a pit stop, I assume, right?
Yeah.
If you add that, then they're right back with Aston Martin. If they do the same strategy everyone else did, their Sainz beats them, basically. And Perez walks to a second. So yeah, I will say, as good as Mercedes looked, I don't think they're the second best team now. I still think they're the third. I mean,
I would agree with that.
Technically the fourth, but like intelligence-wise, the third, because Ferrari. Ferrari's like they're eating crayons or something.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, Taylor.
They're having a tough start to the season, okay? They just had a big transition in leadership. It happens.
Where did Leclerc finish?
Don't want to talk about it.
Steven, can you tell me where Leclerc finished this race?
Oh,
sorry, I had to scroll down a little more. 11th.
Technically, he finished 12th.
Technically, yeah. Okay, can we talk about that quickly?
Yes, thank you.
That was a bullshit penalty.
100%. 100%.
Okay, can somebody explain what they're talking about? Because I'm not sure I remember this.
Okay, so
towards the end of the race.
Was,
towards the end of the race.
Oh, towards it. Yeah, so towards the end of the race, Tsunoda is fighting Zhou.
Yep.
Right? And they go into turn 1. Side by side, Zhou's maybe a little ahead, but you can't be like, oh well, he's a foot ahead. He's clearly got the corner, even though Tsunoda's on the inside of him. And Tsunoda keeps it on the track. Zhou is forced wide, and Tsunoda got a penalty despite there being no contact.
And Yuki gave him so much room.
Yeah,
if Zhou hung it around the outside, he would have been in the inside for the next corner. Yuki was incredibly respectful on that, actually. Compared to Max in the first lap, like literally shoved Sainz off?
Well, like, no.
Yeah.
So I saw a video on this, and it wasn't so much that Max forced Sainz off. Sainz just said, "I ain't dealing with this, and I'm just gonna sit behind him."
Yeah, he didn't go for it. He just backed off.
Because Yuki kept it on the track, at least Max was just like halfway off the track.
Yeah, he was over the curb.
So,
Okay.
Yeah. So there's a complete difference.
Yeah.
And I can't remember who it was. I gotta find the video. Someone did a very good video of like some different examples from. Well, so that was one of the examples. Was the start of the race. There was a video, I believe, from Monaco. I can't remember who it was. Sean, we send each other too much shit.
I know we do. I'm sorry.
Can't find it now. Anywho, it was basically the rules are not always consistent when it comes to this, and the Tsunoda penalty is bullshit. If there's contact, it's a little more understandable, but there wasn't even that.
Did Tsunoda get this penalty based on his reputation of being an aggressive driver?
I mean, you should.
Honestly,
I don't think you should.
Otherwise, why didn't Max? Max has been known as one of the most aggressive drivers since he's come into this fucking series.
Yeah.
What number is
but there's
Carson?
a difference between like.
Yeah, exactly, Taylor. Number one.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying, right? Like, there's a huge
There
difference
shouldn't
between
be.
like Max. I know there shouldn't be, but we know that there is. It's the same thing as like Hamilton when he was on top.
Yeah.
Probably even Hamilton now. You know what I mean? Like,
Actually, no, they gave
there
Hamilton
shouldn't be a
so many
difference, but there
fucking
is.
calls. Hamilton got the benefit of the doubt all the time.
His most patented move was hitting a Red Bull on the right rear tire and sending it flying.
Yeah.
That was his move.
And getting nothing for it. Right?
Albon
like, he got off on so many things.
Verstappen. There's probably another one with Gasly, Perez, probably.
I think every single Red Bull has been wrecked by Hamilton at this point.
But like, it shouldn't be. There shouldn't be a difference, and it's like, but there is, and it sucks. But I don't know. Honestly, I could totally see like the fact that Yuki is a little bit more hot-headed than I'd say most of the other drivers on the grid.
But
I'm just glad.
I think. Go ahead, Steven. Go ahead.
I was gonna just quickly. I'm glad in his post race he was like, "What the fuck was that penalty?"
Did you see how sad he
glad he was
looked?
like-
Oh, he was dejected.
Yeah.
Yeah,
poor Yuki.
He looks so sad. I want to give him a hug.
Yeah.
He just wants to race.
Realistically, that was for points.
Yes, it was like for 8th.
It's a 5-second points or 5-second penalty. Dropped him out of. He would have been 9th, so he would have gotten 2 points.
Yeah.
But that's 2 big points for AlphaTauri.
Who have been struggling. Yeah, that's huge.
And he's basically the only driver on that team because De Vries has been.
Did we talk
absent.
about the De Vries thing of him
Questionable.
basically being told get good or get lost?
Maybe a little bit.
No, we didn't
but,
talk about
I
it.
mean,
Okay.
this weekend didn't help.
No. Yeah, there was so much hype over Nick De Vries, and now it's like.
Because he had one race in Monza that he brought a dog shit car home in 10th.
Ooh.
And
Yeah.
but not like and it was impressive because that car was not scoring points very often.
Nope.
Unless people were just falling out and giving them points. So very good. Okay. You can't just put your feet up and keep driving if you're not gonna bring any because I'm pretty sure Yuki's beat him pretty much every single race, right?
Yeah, I think they're.
He has.
Yeah. I think
Where
Yuki
they
has
both
been a race.
finished. So
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
I think in this race, if you bet on Stroll and Piastri, though, to beat their teammates, you'd make good money. Because
Yeah.
it's such
That's-
high odds for both those this year. It's been like plus 600 for Piastri.
that would have been a tough one to take with Lando in P3.
I know. But
Because his race was fucked from the start after he lost his front wing and had to pit.
yeah, I did the I did all 10 like who's going to beat who. Like my parlay missed by 2.
Oh, okay.
I got 8 out of 10.
You didn't hedge it, did you?
No, I did. Because I did do Stroll straight up because that was plus odds.
No, like
hedge it and like do 5
you
and
need
5.
to hedge your parlay and do like one of those. I can get 8 right. I can't remember what the technical term is, but anyways.
Okay, I don't actually know if that
was you always say that you're like 2 off.
Listen, the 2 I was off of too in this race was Norris and Bottas. Those are the 2 guys I had.
I don't love Bottas as the choice as much. Zhou's been good.
Zhou has been very good so far this year and has not got enough love. Which
Yeah.
again could go to the whole penalty of like people being like, "Oh, I like this Zhou guy. He's, kept his nose clean. Yeah, he may be, he may be right. We should give the penalty." But now you're going to have drivers bitching on the radio at any little infraction.
Yeah. I say Zhou's been better, but realistically they have the same amount of points. So
Yeah, that's fair.
But
anyway.
Anywho.
Any other thoughts from Spain?
From
No,
me.
like again, better. Still could have some work done to be a consistently good racetrack to race at.
That's
but
fair.
Positive steps.
Last thing
That's
I'll
all I'm
add,
saying.
Getting there.
on the whole, like, I bet Stroll to beat Alonso because that was like plus odds. I was stressed the last 6 laps when Alonso was catching. I'm like, fuck, no. That was the only way I was making money this weekend on that one. And then Alonso's like, nah, tell him not to worry.
Yeah.
That is the biggest
tell him I won't
flex.
pass him.
But like, that is such a flex, right? To be like, I can. I'm not gonna.
Yep.
It's okay.
Stroll is just not even a threat to him.
Yeah. I mean, he did beat him in qualifying.
And, yeah. I mean,
Stroll did a good lap in qualifying. And this is Lance Stroll, the guy who can't fucking qualify for shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it just seems like Alonso had a bad week. It happens.
Yeah.
It had to happen at some point. They were having it too good for too long.
Oh, 100%.
So.
And a bad week is still 7th. 6 and 7, that's your bad week for Aston Martin.
Yeah, but that's where you'd also like to see Stroll maybe like catching us signs or at least not being 20 seconds back. But I also don't think they had a great strategy for their weekends.
They did not do a good strategy. They pitted early, got stuck behind guys, and then, yeah. Him and
just burn the
Alonso.
tapes. Yep, just burn the tapes. Had Lance as his home race next week. Next week.
Yep.
Next week.
They'll be good next week.
Yay!
We'll talk about that next week, Taylor. You can gloat then. Yeah.
No, we'll talk about it. We can talk about, like... Yeah.
Okay.
We'll talk about it after Montreal.
Oh, after? You're not going to talk about how you're going there? Okay, fine.
Oh, we can talk about that next... Yeah, never mind.
Thank you.
I'm,
There
like,
you go.
literally brain, like... Boop. Yeah, we'll talk about it next week.
You usually are. It's fine. So, what else?
I don't know why today's worse.
IndyCar?
Do you want to go to Detroit next?
I think that's a good one to go with.
Detroit Rock City?
Because...
Okay, what actually happened? Because, like, I know the whole split pit lane thing was a thing, but I don't know if anything happened.
So here's the thing. Everyone hated the track. It's a very quick track.
Yeah.
Like it's quick. It's
tight.
It's short in terms of like, it's a quick short lap. Like it's not like they're running high speed that makes it short. Like for example, like Toronto. Toronto I think had similar lap times to this, and in the high 59s I think is pole.
Yeah.
Which is similar
usually.
to Toronto. But unlike in Toronto, you at least have a longer track. Like if I pull up the details of the Detroit, I'm trying to see if I can find the distance of it. Track distance anywhere on here. Just says it was 100 laps. 1.64 mile.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can take
Sorry.
the distance.
Yeah.
1.6. Yeah.
Yeah.
1.64 mile. Simple math here.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, it's only a 9-turn track. Like it's not like it's.
Toronto's 1.7.
Straight nines.
So again, it's like.
But how many turns are there?
13.
Yep. That's a little more characteristic.
See, their website says 11, but I disagree with that.
Depends on what they technically count as.
Yeah, what counts as a turn and what doesn't. Yeah. So. But it was a very quick race. It was very competitive. You had a good fight for the lead. You had what was it? Trying to get some of the stats up here. You had a good fight for the lead. You had power versus Pillow, basically. You had lots of on-track passing, but it was tight. And restarts basically meant everything. And the split pit lane was kind of fun, honestly. It was clean. Nothing bad happened. It was kind of cool.
That's good.
But despite all of the good stuff that actually came from like the stats of this race, like I can't remember where it was. I had it saved somewhere. Basically talking about the race and how people hated it, but still it was a good race, which is annoying.
Oh, like the TV ratings were bad?
No, TV ratings were actually great for this race.
Or Twitter poll. I don't know what you're looking for here.
Basically, is everyone online was saying the track isn't good.
Gotcha.
Which is fair. It wasn't the best. But every stat of the Detroit race basically said that this produced good racing. Yeah, the track's a little bumpy, which we saw with Grosjean's accident. I don't know if you saw that, but Grosjean's suspension just broke, and he hit the wall.
Yeah. I did, I saw his disappointment post on it.
Yeah.
So I knew something happened.
Yeah, good pick there, Taylor. Doesn't get old.
No.
So yeah, Grosjean binned
it.
Grosjean binned
Whatever.
What else happened?
Okay, just quick question here.
Go ahead.
How many races has he actually finished?
Steven? I'll let
Give
you
me a
figure
second.
that out.
Yep. Continue.
One?
Okay. So this race had, let's see. Here are all the DNFs though from the. I found the actual stats here properly. There was 10 lead changes. 32 laps of cautions out of 100 laps. So a third of the race was run under caution. That's not so good. But when you actually were running the race, just trying to see how many doesn't actually say how many total overtakes there were. There's a good amount.
Okay.
Yeah, it took 2 hours to run. And yeah, it's basically it. Oh, they waved off the start also, apparently. I guess we missed that part because me and Steve were golfing. And yeah.
Okay. So basically what you're saying is like it was objectively like a decent race.
For a first time event in like a brand new street circuit, I think it was good. And like it's literally in like the front door of the Chevy building in Detroit. And like,
sponsors are happy.
And like the aesthetics of the event actually looked good.
Okay.
Like it's right next to the water versus Belle Isle on the water. It's kind of similar. But yeah, I would like to see them make some changes maybe. It'd be kind of fun if they could maybe put a different little bit of layout. The last few turns just seemed very tight and very and we need to wrap this up. So if they could adjust it, that'd be great. But we'll see what they do with it going forward. I think they'll definitely have to resurface it because, yeah, it was bumpy.
Yeah. Did not look great.
Oh, did you see what happened in the Indy Lights race?
Oh, I was
Is that what you sent us?
Yeah. I sent you that one. Yeah.
Nolan Siegel.
Yeah, Siegel.
Nolan Siegel.
He was leading the race by like 5 seconds, and then
that's so bad.
Gearbox
loses gearbox, which again you probably have to attribute that to the roughness of the track.
Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah,
maybe just bottomed out.
Yeah, if you're just taking a hammer to it every 5 seconds, yeah, probably.
So felt bad for him, though he did make a huge mistake, and that was he tried to drive it back across the line when what he should have done is drive it into the pit lane. Because it's a shorter pit lane with only being a split pit lane, he wouldn't have had the car to go so far, and he may not have lost as many positions. So
yeah, true.
It's again in that moment when you're leading the race and your shit goes, I don't think you're thinking, where's the best way to cut a corner here? You're probably just thinking, just get me to the line.
Yeah, and it sounded like he was really, really, really upset, so he probably wasn't thinking clearly at all, right?
No, you're freaking out in that moment.
That commentary was colorful, but riddled. Like you could just tell how disappointed he was with the outcome. Yeah. And like, who wouldn't be, right? Like, so close to winning.
Yeah, 100%. So that's unfortunate. However, we didn't even talk about the winner. Alex Palou won the race. And
revenge.
You think he's the favorite now for the championship?
I mean,
most
it's
likely.
tight.
Tight?
Well, still a little tight at the top. Still a long way to go, man.
He's got a 50-point lead.
I know. Still a long way to go.
If he doesn't race a race and Ericsson wins, he still can't catch him.
Yes. But that's still a lot. Like we aren't even at halfway here.
Aren't we?
3, 4, 5. No. We're down 7 races. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah.
2/3.
Still a long
okay.
way. Things
2/3?
can still like.
Wait, if we're not halfway, then how are we 2/3?
4/5. How about that? Sorry, 2/5.
What?
Don't let him do math. Don't let him stop. Sean, shut
up.
No.
Like a third. How about a third?
Okay. It's more than a third, though.
Let's put it this way. He is the betting favorite. He has a good lead. We are not halfway through the season. Yes, he's the betting favorite. You cannot count the top 5 guys out, though.
Remember how 2 weeks ago it was the top 9?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, now it's the top 5. In 3 weeks' time, it's going to be the top 1.
Could be. Might not be. That's all I'm saying.
His worst finish is 8th. That was the first race of the year.
Okay, and so if we have this conversation after the first 2 races, Pato's the runaway leader and he's gonna win. He's your hands down favorite, easy win.
You know what? Before Indy, yeah, he should have been, but he's choked the last 2 races.
So so that's what I'm saying. What happens if Below just chokes away 4 races in a row, finishes 20th in a 26-car field?
That's fair.
And Ericsson wins a race and places top 5 and 2. Oh, all of a sudden, Palou's behind him now.
I'm just saying Palou's the favorite, and I think it's...
No shit!
Okay, he's the favorite, and at this point, I would happily throw all my money in Palou.
Go for it.
I'll throw $20 in Palou to win the championship, sure.
Go for it.
Though I'd put $5 on him before the 500.
Probably got better odds then, so good job.
Yeah, I did. It's plus 600. So, I'll take that one. Though, if there is anyone who is actually going to sneak his way into the championship fight, it's not Ericsson.
No, you think it's Newgarden?
It's Newgarden.
Yeah, so he dropped back. Someone had pointed out on the broadcast as I was watching it back that no Indy 500 winner has followed up their win with a finish better than 6th. So it's not really a surprise that he went from a tight group of 3 to now where did he finish?
10th.
He finished 10th. So pretty good finish considering like 4 spots up was the max.
Yeah, 100%. Like I think Newgarden did very well considering like the week after the 500, you were running around doing all sorts of media events. You're pulled and doing so much shit. Yeah, you're exhausted by the time the next weekend shows up. You are not going to be good. Yeah. So 10th, good performance. Another good guy to shout out, I would say, would be Marcus Armstrong. Top 10 finish, second of the year. He is definitely that guy that Ganassi is grooming, I should say, to be your next like Dixon. And he's looking strong. How old is he? He's 22. Yeah, he's
Where is he sitting right now in standings?
17th.
He is 17th. That's not bad. I mean, Ferrucci is an all-star, and Armstrong, this is his first year, and he's only 4 points back. So
he hasn't raced 2 races.
He must
not talk about Ferrucci ever again.
He must be. How is no one picking this kid up?
Yeah.
How did no one pick him up? Like, just gave him to Chip and said, "Here you go. Here's another superstar."
You're really gonna go on that way?
I got a dead horse out back. I'm gonna go beat after this.
That's fair.
So.
I mean, DeFrancesco came 12th. He's improving.
Ew.
How long until Mac?
Oh, sorry. Did I say that out loud?
How long until Mac Clark becomes the Canadian superstar?
I'll give it 2 years.
Yeah, hopefully.
But yeah, it's rough for the Canadians. However, talking IndyCar, silly season is already here.
Oh, that's not at all where I thought you were going.
Where did you think I was going to go?
I thought you were going to talk about how Flavor Flav was chilling with Will Power, and that's how he got to second, because he had Flavor Flav with him.
I love how happy you are that you got to say that and the smile on your face. But no, we're not talking that.
Damn it.
We are going to talk about 2 things. The first is the Marcus Ericsson question, which is Marcus Ericsson doesn't want to be a paid driver anymore. He wants to get paid.
Well, that makes sense.
For anyone that doesn't know, he currently brings money to Chip Ganassi in his form of the Husky sponsorship. That's his personal sponsor that he brings to the table. He doesn't want that anymore. He wants to actually get paid to be there and a team that wants him. So at this point in the season, seeing that Marcus Ericsson, was very strong last year, where did he finish in the championship? I want to say like second or third. Where was he last year? Ericsson was 6th. 6th in championship last year. Okay, fair enough.
Still a top 10 finish.
Top 10. Indy 500 winner. 2nd this year. Where will he end up at the end of the season?
Honestly, I mean, I don't know. Should I even make my comments? Because you guys know what I'm going to say.
I don't actually know there's a bad answer.
I could see him winning. I honestly could see him taking the championship this year.
No, Taylor, not winning
or
the championship.
being up there.
Where is he? What team is he going to be in?
Oh, what? Oh.
Where does he physically
I'm
go?
like clearly so out of it.
Jesus, you are so fried today.
Where does he go?
The championship debate was like 5 minutes ago.
Whatever. Wow, I totally missed that.
Yeah. I'm not cutting that. That is staying in there.
Yep.
Oh, so bad. Sorry, guys. I don't know.
What team do you think?
I don't know what seats are open.
And that's where the big question is. What is open? McLaren says they're down to go for 4 cars next year. Ganassi might just open the checkbook. Clearly, Andretti has issues. Could he go?
McLaren, is Palou leaving or is he staying here? Because that's an easy way to fill your 4th car, and you're not going to give Palou up. So
Right.
that seat might already be filled. You put him back with
Right.
Grosjean at Andretti?
That could be interesting.
It could be
If
interesting.
Chip doesn't want to keep him?
But I could see Chip wanting to keep him.
But then he's got to pay him.
Well, he's already... And he's already losing Palou. He's got
I was going to
Dixon.
say... Oh, that he's losing Palou. So, like...
Yep.
He'll have some money to throw around, no?
I don't know, because isn't NTT like the sponsor there? Oh, wait, didn't they lose that sponsor already?
I don't know.
I can't remember how the
thought
deal
so.
worked of losing Palou.
I can't remember.
So yeah, maybe he stays there and they just go Ericsson, Dixon, Armstrong, someone else?
Because Dixon races until he says, I don't want to race anymore.
Yep.
Right.
Ericsson could easily be the face and Armstrong the future.
Yeah. Get your vet, you got your young guy in his prime, and you got your future there.
Then you can bring in another younger driver, and then you have Ericsson as your championship hopeful, Dixon as your crowd favorite, and two young guys that you can build around.
Who can get kicked out of F1 to go to IndyCar? Who can bring some money to that team?
Nick DeVries.
Oh, no. I have a worse answer to that.
What?
Lance Stroll.
No. This is going to be the Ganassi lineup next year, okay? Ganassi lineup is going to be Armstrong.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
It's going to be Ericsson, Dixon,
Uh-huh.
and Nicholas Latifi.
Oh, please.
Oh,
that'd be
great.
That is
Sign me up.
That is your lineup next year for Ganassi. Latifi brings the money.
Hey.
Those three guys are face, future, and veteran. Going to come up with an F for that.
And Latifi.
You know what?
Latifi.
I like it. I really like that.
That is my prediction.
Happen.
Because I think it came in too late in the season last year for him to get a drive anywhere.
Yes.
Yeah, I swear on my life, if you're right about this, if it comes out that Latifi's going to be I can't.
Listen, the date mark is on here. It's June 8th. Nothing's happened, but that is the prediction.
Oh my gosh.
I will play this clip 90 times.
The fact that we both know that you would totally gloat about being right about this for way too long.
Yeah, pretty much. But I can't really see anyone else really kind of making that jump over joining IndyCar with a good team and bringing money. It just kind of adds up.
Yeah.
And then we got the other bit of IndyCar news, which is the Conor Daly stuff today.
Yeah, this was sort of out of left field. Daly released from Ed Carpenter and instantly replaced with Ryan Hunter-Reay, which was a decision, is the best way I can put it. A decision was made. Was it necessarily the right one? I
don't know about that.
Steven, the council has made a decision. But given that it's a stupid-ass decision, I would like to ignore it.
Yes.
God, I thought you were going to carry that with me. You didn't. That made that awkward.
No.
Thanks, buddy.
No.
But yeah.
I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell which council you were talking about.
That's only a famous line from that movie. But whatever.
Yes. The Council of Public Opinion has clearly stated that it was a stupid decision.
Yeah, and the council of Ed Carpenter is fucking old, and I don't know what the hell he's doing there running that team, apparently. Decides to get rid of his most popular driver.
Yeah.
So are they mutually part ways? The fuck does that mean? I don't think that's a very mutual thing. Considering how hard Conor Daly has worked to become full-time in IndyCar over his years.
And finally gets it and then gets Das Boot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that does not sound mutual at all to me.
No. So anyway.
That was a surprise. And then Ryan Hunter, you're bringing in Ryan Hunter-Reay, not that he's bad, but why?
Just why?
Of all the old guys to bring back.
He was was retired.
Mm-hmm.
You're bringing him out of retirement to drive around in a car that is not great. Like, why?
I would have respected him more if he put himself in.
Put yourself in, or like bring in some young guy and just say, look, the car's not great. We have VK. We want to get another young name in there. Daly's not bad, but like he's also not overly young. He's what, 27, 28?
Where's Carlos Munoz?
Yes, you can call Carlos Munoz again.
But yeah, like there's so many guys.
Still, like,
there's so many guys you could throw in that car.
Yeah.
Unconvinced that he's like
Dead.
Actually alive.
Also, if you want to save money, Ed, just fucking quit running the fucking ovals at this point. Holy shit.
Yeah, and if you're firing Daly, I'm sure there's some kind of payout there. And I'm pretty sure Daly is the guy who brought the BitNile sponsorship to your team, which you're running in all your cars. So like it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Do you know the last time Ed Carpenter ran a full season, Sean?
2014.
Close, 2013.
Ooh.
That's the last time he ran a full season.
Jesus.
He's just doing this for shits and gigs.
You know who I'd put in that car?
Who?
Sage Karam.
Yeah, another younger guy. He's only like 25. I always feel like he's like older than we are.
Sage Karam is our age, you idiot.
I thought he was young. Okay.
No, he's 95.
Oh, okay. I thought he was like a 97 or something, but not much younger.
He's 28.
Oh, so he's old.
But anyways, point is, I always think he's older than he actually is because I thought he was like 30 at this point.
Yes.
Which is only 2 years away, which is kind of scary. Anywho.
We're not having like a quarter life crisis on the show.
Yeah, no, Steven, come on. But yeah, if you bring Sage Karam back, have him, what is it? Just, show up, do a few races. You're not worrying about the car being paid for. You already have your sponsorship. And now you have a feel-good story in that car to finish your season. Versus we're going to drag out old, washed-up driver. Not that Ron Hunter-Reay is really bad or washed up or anything like that, but like the optics of it, right? Like, put someone younger or closer to their prime in.
Yeah, it's not like Hunter-Reay was like where Ricardo is, right? Like Ricardo's lost his seat for a year, but he's still like very much, I want to drive. Hunter-Reay, I'm pretty sure, was like, no, I'm just done with this.
Or put fucking Catherine Legg in, or like, of all the drivers, Hunter-Reay's who you go with, really. And like,
interesting.
I'm pretty sure this is just Ed Carpenter just being like, I need a fucking blooded American in here, yeah. And the only option he had is Hunter-Reay. But again, Sage Karam would have solved that.
Yeah, true.
It's a very head-scratching move.
It is. So I got nothing on that, really. Anything else?
No. We might run into him in the stands if Conor Daly decides to stick around with IndyCar.
I'll buy that man a beer.
Yes.
But yeah,
Conor, if you're listening, come to Toronto at least.
Yes. This weekend, friends.
Yes, this weekend.
24 hours of the month. Honestly, St. Louis is a shit show. Not a whole lot to go there. A bunch of breaks fucking failed. Kyle Busch won.
Oh, okay. Like not much to report.
There was no flow to the race because every time there was flow, there was a brake failure.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. That's annoying.
Yeah, because of the nature of the track, which it's tight corners but long straights. They would brake heavily into the corners. By the time they would get to the next corner, the brakes already cooled. So, and because they're metal and they can't do the whole heating up and then cooling down rapidly, they didn't do well, and there was a whole bunch of guys' brakes exploding. So, unfortunate, it happens, but is what it is.
Well, yeah. Okay, so do we want to talk about this weekend?
Le Mans.
I do.
Le Mans.
Because I'm excited.
That's at least where NASCAR looks good.
They actually do.
Did you see the picture of like the NASCAR like car?
Oh boy,
that
she's
was like
thick.
She's thick, eh? So thick.
John sent the out of context or no context racing or whatever the page was, and it was just the Chevy Camaro sitting in front of all of the GT3 cars.
Yeah,
and I was
it's
dying
like, that's
laughing.
not photoshopped. Or the other one where they have the shot of like the whole field, and the Camaro's right in the center, and it is just towering over all of the prototypes and like every other GT car. It's like, god damn it, those NASCARs are fucking big.
Yep. That ain't a stock car. It can't be.
But so we have our first, I guess, hypercar crossover this year, right?
Yep.
Because we have the LMDH, fucking GTPs, I think they are now. That's it, right?
The GTPs, yeah.
Yes. And
which looked really exciting at Daytona.
Yep. And today was qualifying for the Le Mans. Did you guys see?
I thought that was yesterday.
No, it was today. Going for the hyper pole, which I think is the stupidest fucking name for the pole, but whatever. Did you see which cars locked out the front row?
I did. This is why I'm excited, because I actually think that I might not be disappointed with a Ferrari this weekend.
Oh, that's because F1 isn't racing.
I know. So Ferrari locked out the front. Very happy to see that.
Yep. I'm interested to see how this race will go, because you have the Ferraris lock out the front. The Toyotas and Porsche should be a good battle, and the Cadillacs seem like they are definitely the distant fourth in terms of the manufacturers there.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm cheering for the Cadillacs.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Simply because they're the IMSA cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want the IMSA cars to come over and win. And if not, I want the Penske Porsche to win. Again, the IMSA ones. Not the fucking Toyotas or the Ferraris or whatever. I wish the Acura was here, though. I really do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They didn't come, but I'd be happy if they could win that. But yeah.
Yeah. It should be a good race.
Are
y'all gonna watch?
How do you think the NASCAR will do? I think it's gonna be a great race. Le Mans is always fantastic.
Yeah.
How well will the NASCAR do? I think they so they're in Garage 56. So they can't technically do anything, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're like
they only compete overall. They don't compete for class or anything.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do like win out the class at the same time. Like they've been showing early pace. They already won the the pit stop challenge, so they're off to a flying start on their weekend. Which was funny. The first thing I thought about was Ford versus Ferrari. They brought a goddamn NASCAR pit crew.
I saw that in I think Twitter or something, and I don't know who posted that, but that was good. Yeah. But they have a NASCAR pit crew. Of course they're gonna have a good freaking pit crew.
Yeah. The only one's using a manual jack.
Which is interesting, right?
That is a dick on table moment.
But it's a dick on tail moment, but also that's one less thing to fail in your car.
Yep.
Like the NASCAR might actually do well because of the simplicity of the car.
Mm-hmm. How's their car not failing? They took out all the electronics.
Yeah, it's funny also in the qualifying. They're like just behind the LMP2s and well clear of the GTs.
Yeah.
Like they did a 3-minute 47-second time. The worst LMP2 was a 3:39, and the best GT was a 3:51. So they really are in that in between.
They could very easily win.
Yeah.
And that car can probably take a bit of a beating too. So if they get into some elbows out stuff early.
That is true. We've seen those cars can take a hit. Oh, man. Okay, here is the question. Can the NASCAR finish in the top 20?
Honestly,
Maybe.
just for like shits and gigs, I want to say yes.
There's 37 cars ahead of them. And what? I can't do the math. Like 20 behind them. So
I just want to say yes for fun.
do enough of the LMP2s and the hypercars have issues, or that NASCAR can somehow make into the top 20? If it does,
Honestly, probably.
This is the immediate, like, an amazing success that NASCAR has.
Yep.
Yes.
I could easily see it happening. There's usually issues when you run for 24 hours, but at the same time, they could also have issues. So
they could have issues.
It's which way do the dice land?
Yeah.
For everyone.
Yeah,
right?
and
like, I think
after watching the brake failures from this weekend, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm also thinking back to like some of the problems that we saw in the 24-hour of Daytona, and I'm like, honestly, like, there's probably going to be some.
Yeah.
Like 100%. That's like almost like a guarantee there's going to be some issues.
Oh, yeah.
So.
I do find it funny that it's Jimmy Johnson and Jensen Button. That's such a hilarious duo.
What an interesting pair.
And Mike Rockefeller.
I mean, as long as Jimmy does better than he's been doing in the Cup Series, they'll be all right.
I mean, he raced IndyCar last year.
That's all. Yeah.
Is there any other car you'd want to see join Le Mans? From like another series or something?
Honestly, at this point, just bring in everyone. Let's just see how they all do.
Putting an IndyCar out there would be fun.
Throw out an IndyCar.
If you're putting an IndyCar out there, they're competing with the hypercars.
Yeah.
Easily.
Probably, yeah.
Bring an F1 car, they're winning. But then refueling the F1 car would be difficult.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Their pit stops would be brutal.
Oh, so we had to do it
and
like
also,
the old way.
Also, I feel like if you put Max in the car, there's a non-zero chance he goes Hulk mode and just like starts destroying the car because he's so used to like a 2-second pit stop, and now it's taking forever.
Oh,
yeah,
that'd be awful.
But that would be fun to have like the best of each series come. So you have a team of, let's say, Max, Hamilton, Alonso.
That'd be a fun
all
team.
In one car.
That'd be great.
That would be an interesting
then
team.
You can get.
Who'd your IndyCar lineup be?
I mean, you kind of already do this with some of the like the Daytona 500, like Dixon. You can do Dixon, Power.
You mean the Daytona 24th, the Rolex, not 500?
Whatever, same shit.
Don't whatever that. People get pissed off if you say that one.
Yes, I know.
But we're at the point of the episode, and the people may not even be here, so who knows?
Yes, exactly. You could do Dixon.
Faith.
Yeah.
Like, if you're completely removing team alliances, go like Dixon, Power, Castroneves as like the old man team.
Fucking awful team.
Why?
I would take Palou, Ericsson, Newgarden.
No, but that's what I'm saying. No, but that's what I'm saying. You could do like the old man team of Dixon, Castroneves, Power. You could do the young guy team of like Palou, Herda, and whoever.
No.
And Pato. And then like the middle-aged team of Ericsson, Newgarden, Rossi or something.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
You can mix it up so many different ways. It'd be fun.
True, you can.
It is fair.
Like you can do the same thing with F1. You could be like, all right, we have team old guy, old guy and Max, with Hamilton, Alonso, Max, and then you could do the Stream Boys.
Okay, hear me out. Hamilton, Alonso, Vettel, and then you get Leclerc, Verstappen, Lando. There's your Stream Boys.
Mm.
Yeah.
I want this to happen.
Good.
We need to get more cars in Le Mans.
Yeah.
Kick out some like LMP2s. There's too fucking many of them. Fuck, there is so many LMP2s. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big class.
22. That's a fucking IndyCar field. At least used to be.
No, it's smaller than an IndyCar field now.
The IndyCar field used to be like 22. But yeah, like that's a whole field. That could be at any other track. Yeah, take like 2 of those guys out, put an IndyCar in, put an F1 car in. While we're at it, put a fucking rally car in there. I want to see that thing go.
Throw a Formula E. What's the like off-roading electric? Is it Extreme Series? Is that
Extreme E or something?
Something like that. I can't remember.
Put a stadium super truck out there. I want to see how that goes. Corners optional. Doesn't have to take the racing line.
Yeah. Monster truck runs over the rest of the field.
Oh my. That'd be fun.
Guns it on the start. Can you imagine that at Daytona? Just gun it off the start. Just run over everyone and just continue on. Take the penalty.
I think more fun if it's like, okay, if I don't have to take the racing line, I'll just skip a turn and go just cut right across.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. The monster truck just runs over everyone, hops the wall, goes right onto the back straight.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's fair. Anyways, that's all we have. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
Do you want the fantasy updates? We sort of cut that last week.
I don't know.
Let's go next. Let's save it for next week.
Okay.
Not a whole lot's happened. It's fine.
That's fine.
And with that, it's okay, Taylor. You don't want that. We'll give you your high this week of Ferrari winning. Then
I could just see his little.
He just wants to brag.
Anyway, I know he does. Okay, all right.
And on that note,
on the high of Ferrari being hopeful.
Don't worry, they'll win. Don't worry, they'll win. Anyway.
Stop.
Thank you very much for listening to this episode. We'll be back next week. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you for tuning in to the Spare Parts Racing Podcast. Remember to subscribe so you don't miss an episode, and follow the show on Twitter at Spare Parts Racing. That's Spare Parts RACIN, and on TikTok at Spare Parts Pod. Follow the hosts at Sean Chavarella, at Stephen Clary, and at Tay Moore.